Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and as always, I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. If you become a client of mine, obviously you'll be provided with a direct phone number. Today we're back with our weekly review of the real estate market here in the Villages, and I'll remind you that we're looking just at listings from the MLS, not the VLS. And for those new to the channel, the MLS is the multiple listing service, and the VLS is the internal Villages owned listing service. As always, we're going to be covering 5 areas: total listings, new listing, properties that have sold, properties that have had a price change, and properties that are pending. I would also remind you to check the date. This is the week of May 2nd, 2022. I provide this update every week. Make sure that you're watching the most recent information. So let's begin by looking at listings, properties that are currently for sale in the Villages. As of today, we can see that there are 123 properties for sale in the Villages. Last week, that number was 129. The week before, also 123, and the week before, 114. The price range of properties for sale in the Villages ranges from $179,000 to $2.685 million. In the price range of 100 to 200,000, there are 2 properties for sale. Last week, there were 3. The property that's been on the market the least amount of time in that price range has been on the market for 13 days. The longest time period, 74 days, and the average time period for that price range, 44 days. You can examine each of these price segments at your leisure if you pause the video, but let's take a look at the most active market segment, the price range of 300,000 to 400,000. There are 35 properties for sale currently. Last week, there were 25. The property that's been on the market for the least amount of time has been on the market for 1 day, for the most amount of time, 72 days, and they average 18 days. Once again, you can see that the most active market segment in the Villages is the $300,000 to $600,000 price range. This map shows us where in the Villages these properties are located. Let's move on to new listings. Over the last 7 days, there are 25 new listings. The prior 7 day period, there were 27. The 7 day period prior to that, 39, and prior to that, 38. New listings range in price from 260,000 to almost 820,000, and you can see in the 300,000 to $400,000 price range, there are 11 new listings. Last week there were 7, the week prior 16, and the week prior to that 11. Obviously, at any time you can pause this video to examine it at your leisure. You can see that most of the new listings, once again, are in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range. This map shows us where in the Villages these new listings are located. Let's turn our attention now to price changes. There's been 1 price increase in the last 7 days. The previous week also saw only 1 price increase. This week, over the last 7 days, there have been 24 price decreases. The previous 7 days saw 37, prior to that 28, and prior to that also 28. The price increase that took place was in the price range of 200,000 to 300,000, and it was a 5.25% increase. If you look at the market segment of 300,000 to 400,000, you can see that there were 5 price decreases. Last week there were 10. The price decreases this week from the original listing price averaged 4.54%. In the prior period, they averaged 1.75%. Similarly, in the $400,000 to $500,000 price range, this week there were 8 price decreases. The prior 7-day period saw 9. This week, the average price decrease from the original listing price was 6.93%. In the prior period, 7.4%. This map shows us where the properties that saw price decreases are located in the Villages. Now we turn our attention to properties that have sold over the last 7 days. The last 7 days saw 49 properties sell, prior 7-day period 44, prior to that 38, and prior to that 34. The price range for the properties that sold ranged from 201,000 to 975,000, and you can see by price segment how many properties sold, how many sold for the original listing price, and how many sold for over or under the original listing price. If we look at the $300,000 to $400,000 price range, 16 properties closed over the last 7 days. The prior 7-day period saw 22 properties close. Of those 16 properties, 6 sold for the listing price, 5 sold for less than the listing price, and 5 sold for more than the listing price. In the price range of 400,000 to 500,000, 16 properties sold. The prior 7-day period saw 11 sell. 5 of those 16 sold for the listing price, 3 for over the listing price, and 8 for under the listing price. This map shows us where these sold properties are located in the villages. The last thing we look at is properties that went pending over the last 7 days. Over the last 7 days, 38 properties have gone pending in the villages. The prior 7-day period saw 37. The most active price segment over the last 7 days for properties going pending was 400,000 to 500,000. 13 properties went pending. The prior 7-day period saw 8. In the $300,000 to $400,000 price range, 7 properties went pending in the last 7 days. The previous 7-day period saw 18. It's worth noting that for properties over $800,000, only 1 property went pending over the last 7 days. This map shows us where these pending properties are located. Once again, my name is David. I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about real estate in the villages, and if I don't have an answer, I will be happy to research the question for you. I hope to hear from you.